Hello and welcome back. Today we're going to go over parts 11 and 12 of the Form N400, the U.S. Citizenship Application for Naturalization. Okay, let's continue. Quick reminders, once again, type or print legibly in black ink. If you need extra space, use and attach a separate sheet of paper. This is going to be really important in section 12. Okay, attach a separate sheet of paper, and at the top of each sheet, type or print your name, your alien registration number, if any, the page number, part number, and item number to which your answer refers. Okay, all questions must be answered fully and accurately. Please be honest, especially in this part 12. There's a lot of questions here. If a question does not apply to you, type or print NA. If your answer to a question, which requires a numeric response, is 0 or none, type or print the word none. All right, let's get started. Part 11. Item number 1, indicate your total number of children. Remember, count all of your children, regardless of whether they are alive, missing, deceased, born in other countries or in the United States, under 18 years of age or over 18 years of age, married or unmarried, living with you or elsewhere, current stepchildren, legally adopted children, or children born when you were not married. Okay. Item number 2, provide information about all your children listed in item number 1, regardless of age. If needed, use a separate sheet of paper to provide the information requested. Provide the following information for each child. Okay, going to do the child's current legal name, the A number, if applicable, date of birth, country of birth. Print or type the name of the country at the time of your child's birth, even if the name of the country has changed. Okay. Relationship to you, for example, biological child, stepchild, legally adopted child, and the child's current address. Okay, a little bit more information here. If the child is residing with you, you can write right here in the current address, child residing with me, just like that. Okay, if the child is residing somewhere else, please put the full street number and name, the full address here. Okay. If your son or daughter is missing or deceased, please put child missing or child deceased in the address section. Okay. All right. Moving on to part 12, additional information about you. There's lots of questions right here, okay? So in items 1 through 50, you're going to answer each question by selecting yes or no where applicable. If any part of a question applies to you or has ever applied to you, you must answer yes. If you answer yes to any of the questions in items number 1 through 44 in this part, you need to include a typed or printed explanation on a separate sheet of paper. You may also provide evidence to support your answers. Okay? And then, if you answer no to any of the questions down here in items 45 through 50, you're going to do the same. You're going to include a typed or printed explanation on a separate sheet of paper. Okay? And remember, your answers, whether yes or no, will not automatically cause your application to be denied. Right? The most important part is to be honest and truthful. And I want to go over a couple common questions that we have usually in this part. First of all, I want you to see that the word ever has been, capitalized and bolded. Okay, so have you ever, okay, in your history here, okay, in your life, okay, have you ever claimed to be a U.S. citizen in writing or any other way? So you're going to go ahead and answer all these questions one at a time. Hopefully most of these in the first part will be no's, okay? Sometimes this one, number 7, have you ever not filed a federal, state, or local tax return since you became a lawful permanent resident? This answer is sometimes confusing because some people didn't file. Maybe they were retired, or they didn't have a job, they were unemployed. You can find more information by going to irs.gov, okay, irs.gov, and you can get a transcript of your returns, which you would probably need anyway to bring to your interview. You can also get this one right here at irs.gov. Do you need to file a return? Okay, and you can go back here and check, did I need to file a return, or do I need to file a return? You can look here and you could check the tax year you're asking about. So you can go back and check, oh, did I need to file a return in 2013? Because I didn't, and that could be a problem if you don't have a valid reason, a valid explanation. So the best thing to do is double check that. Very important. All right, let's go back here. Another one, let me see. Okay, number 9. Have you ever been a member of, involved in, or in any way associated with any organization, association, fund, foundation, party, club, society, or similar group in the United States or in any other location in the world? Okay, most people look at that and they get all scared because they think they're asking about just terrorist organizations or things like that. They're not. They're asking about any organizations, and most people, to be honest with you, are involved in organizations. It shows that you're part of the community. So you can go ahead and answer yes, and then maybe you were a member of the middle school PTA, maybe you were a member of the Boy Scouts or the Girl Scouts, something like that. You could go ahead and put the name of your church, your temple, your mosque, something like those organizations, that you are an active member in the community. That's okay, all right? So to that, and if you need more space, go ahead and add that extra sheet of paper. All right, now let me see some other questions down here. Okay, down here in all the in the item numbers 22 to 28. Okay, and if any of the item numbers 22 through 28 apply to you, you must answer yes, even if your records have been sealed, expunged, or otherwise cleared. You must disclose this information even if someone, including a judge, law enforcement officer, or attorney, told you that it no longer constitutes a record or told you that you do not have to disclose the information. Okay? Remember, they are going to have a copy of your records. You are doing your fingerprints at your biometrics. They will have this in front of you. So you don't want to tell a non-truth and then have them see that you're actually lying because they have the information. They are going to be checking. So please, it's better to be upfront and honest and give the documents that you need to turn in. Right? Okay. So go very carefully. Now right here, frequent question and answers from USCIS. If I have been convicted of a crime but my record has been expunged, do I need to write that on my application or tell a USCIS officer? Yes, again, yes. You should always be honest with USCIS about all arrests, even if you were not charged or convicted, convictions, even if your record was cleared or expunged, crimes you have committed for which you were not arrested or convicted, and any countervailing evidence or evidence in your favor concerning the circumstances of your arrest, and or convictions or offenses that you would like USCIS to consider. Okay, now this is important right here. Even if you have committed a minor crime, USCIS might deny your application if you do not tell the USCIS officer about the incident. Remember, they are most likely going to know, right? So you want to disclose that information to show that you're being honest. Note that unless a traffic incident, very important here, unless a traffic incident was alcohol or drug related, you do not need to submit documentation for traffic fines and incidents that did not involve an actual arrest if the only penalty was a fine less than $500 and or points on your driver's license. Okay, so you don't need to do any of that unless you were arrested and if the fine was above $500. Okay? All right. All right, I hope that makes sense. Shoot me a message below if you have any questions there, and I will try my best to find an answer for you. You're going to keep going through all of these questions very carefully, right? And again, if you have any questions about the wording of any of these, please let me know. Number 38, right here. Are you currently a member of the U.S. Armed Forces? The U.S. Armed Forces, you're going to read very carefully about citizenship for military members. Okay, there's some different ways to go about citizenship for military members, so you want to be familiar with that area. All right. And then, okay. Number 44, are you a male who lived in the United States at any time between your 18th and 26th birthdays? Okay, this is very important because they often ask for a selective service letter. Okay, so you can go to sss.gov, the Selective Service System, and you can get a proof of registration. When you get your letter back in the mail after you do your application, they might ask you to bring the proof of registration for selective service. And this is where you get it, right here. This at the sss.gov website. And you could go ahead and if you don't have your registration acknowledgement letter anymore, you can go ahead and ask for another copy. Okay. And remember that is for males who lived in the United States between their 18th and 26th birthdays. Okay. All right. Let's go down here to items 45 through 50. And most of these are going to be yes. Okay, or all of them technically should be yes. However, if you answer no, you're going to need to include a typed or printed explanation on additional sheets of paper and provide any evidence to support your answers. All right, so number 45, do you support the Constitution and form of government of the United States? Yes. Do you understand the full oath of allegiance to the United States? Yes. In your interview, if you are asked, what does that mean? What does the full oath of allegiance mean? It means to be loyal. You are promising to be loyal to the United States. An oath is a promise. Allegiance is loyalty. It's a promise to be loyal to the United States. Are you willing to take the full oath of allegiance to the United States? Yes. If the law requires it, are you willing to bear arms on behalf of the United States? Okay, this one gets a little tricky. Most people just answer yes. However, if you want to have an exemption for religious purposes or conscientious objections to bearing arms on behalf of the United States, you can go ahead and check that box, but then you must show opposition to the clause based on religious training and belief or deeply held moral or ethical code. Okay, you're going to have to submit paperwork and evidence to say that you're checking no to number 48 there. Number 49, if the law requires it, are you willing to perform non-combatant services to the U.S. Armed Forces? That's non-combatant services means that, not in combat, basically. Okay. If the law requires it, are you willing to perform work of national importance under civilian direction? And you want to check yes in that box as well. All right, and that concludes parts 11 and 12. Again, let me know if you have any questions, and we'll continue on with part 13 tomorrow. Thanks so much for watching.